Hello, friends of Lance. It's early Saturday morning here in Philadelphia, and Brazil beat Haiti 3-0. Two goals by Matheus Cunha, a goal by Vini Jr. with the assist from Vini. Brazil did their job, but maybe the result wasn't as good as we expected, right, Marcela Marcianaca?
Everyone was expecting a bigger win, right? Especially because of the goal difference, which will decide who will be first place in Group C and if Brazil finishes first. It's interesting because the team coordinator Jair Catano said that the schedule is unchanged, the base camp is unchanged. They would stay in New Jersey, there in Morristown, training at the New York Red Bulls training center and staying at the same hotel as the national team. So that would make things much easier for the national team. Finishing in first place, Rodrigo said there's a plan B in case that doesn't happen. But ideally, Brazil gets the result against Scotland and Morocco doesn't get a better goal difference than the national team, right? Today, Brazil finished the second round of Group C as the leader of the group at the top of the table, right, with the 3-0 win over Haiti. Remember that earlier, Morocco had beaten Scotland 1-0. So, Brazil did their job just like everyone said, right? I was in the mixed zone. Dawson went to Antelote's press conference and Antelote gave good news to Brazilian fans, right, Dawson?
Yeah, Antelote finished the press conference. The second to last question was about Neymar, and he responded with this. He stated that Neymar will train individually this Saturday and that he will be available for the game against Scotland. Just a reminder about what we were saying about the group leader. Brazil has 4 points, a goal difference of 3, Morocco 4 points, goal difference of 1, and Scotland with 3 points. Haiti still hasn't scored any points in this Group C. Last round, Brazil. Scotland, Morocco faces Haiti, and it's expected that Morocco will beat Haiti, so Brazil needs to beat Scotland to have the same number of points, and then goal difference will decide Brazil's situation. If Brazil finishes first, they go on to Houston, and the entire schedule for the Brazilian team stays the same. If they finish second, they'll have to travel to Mexico, they'll play in Monterrey, and that messes up the whole team's logistics with longer trips and everything. But Carvalho was asked about this during the press conference, and he said, you have to qualify first, then play a good game, and whatever comes after that is fine. The problem for Brazil is that Neymar is coming back, but there's a good chance of losing him. Rafinha, the forward, felt pain in the back of his right thigh in the first half, the same injury that kept him out of Barcelona for 5 weeks. Yeah, Rafinha will undergo an imaging exam this Saturday. Carvalho is also a concern.
Rodrigo also stopped by the mixed zone, talked briefly with us, and spoke about this topic. Rafinha also said that Rafinha will undergo an exam, an evaluation to see what the real severity of the injury is. But he said that at first it was just a scare. Hopefully it really is just the scare he mentioned. And just to give you some context here, we have the stadium in the background, but there's an after party going on, right? After the game, there was a pre-game with the fans, which we showed you from the beginning of the afternoon until before the national team's game, and now there's a post-game party happening here. Here, the Brazilian fans are celebrating near the stadium, where there's a kind of pool party. Well, it's not really a pool party because there's no pool, but there's a party going on here. Post-game, it's really cool. So, people are starting to leave now. About the game, I really liked the national team in the first half. I thought the team did well. Matheus Cunha's entrance into the game was really good. Yeah, Matheus Cunha, who was one of the players that played the most under Antelote, but in the end he gave up his spot. Maybe it's because of Antelote's strategy. Not because Matheus became a substitute, but because of Antelote's strategic idea. He was on the bench against Egypt in the friendly before the World Cup. He was on the bench in the opener against Morocco, and then he became a starter. In this game against Haiti, he did very well, scored 2 goals. He was very involved and left the field at the 19th minute of the second half for Endrick to come in. Endrick, who is the fans' favorite, and in Brazil, there's also a lot of demand for Endrick to be the starter. But I think Ancelotti has now found his striker, his true number 9 for the national team. Rafinha is a problem. Rayan came in.
Rayan didn't come in very well, did he?
I thought so too. The Nerves' first World Cup game, he didn't do well. Tried to play here and there. I have doubts if Rafinha can't play, if he'll be the starter against Scotland. Okay, because Luis Henrique has already come in playing in that position. Or maybe suddenly Antelote strengthens the midfield a bit there. I'll tell you that after the second game, the second lineup, I think I managed to figure out Antelote's style. of being a more pragmatic guy, of having his ideas that he built back then already kind of preconceived. And I think now he's putting the team together according to the lineup, according to each player's physical condition anyway. I don't know if you thought the same thing too. I thought the second half dropped off. The team could have passed the ball more, held onto the ball more. It turned into a rush there in the second half. Yeah, even Haiti had 2 chances where Alisson did really well. I think it's really important for us to highlight Alisson's performance today. I think Alisson had a World Cup level performance like a World Cup goalkeeper. He made 2 very important saves. It could have reduced the score for Haiti and made the team's goal difference a little worse. I don't know if Duzan agrees with that too.
I completely agree. And about Matheus Cunha, I need to make a comment that I've noticed since Matheus Cunha joined the team back in Teresópolis. But it became very clear here in the United States, he's a complete athlete on the field, but also off the field. He always greets the fans outside, whether it's with a jersey at an open training session or when arriving at the hotel. He's always available. He greets everyone when he enters the field. He's the kind of guy who's very considerate, not just when it comes to the field, but also in how he interacts with the players and the fans. And then I also need to mention the case of Casemiro and Marquinhos, Andy, who do this a lot as well. So they're players who aren't just concerned with the ball at their feet, but also with how they interact with other players. Yanaka mentioned here Matheus Cunha. In 14 games with Carlo Antelote in charge of the national team, he played in 13 of them, okay? He's one of the players who played the most for the national team, not all as a starter, but he usually comes in. If he doesn't start, he comes on in the second half. He hadn't scored any goals yet under Carlo Ancelotti. He was asked about this in the mixed zone over in Cleveland. He might be a bit maybe sacrificed by the system of play, but he never complained about it, okay?
No, Matheus is a player who has always sacrificed a lot for the national team. Even at the Olympics, it was like that. He played through injuries, including the Olympic final when Brazil became champion and beat Spain on that occasion. And then Matheus passed through the mixed zone and talked to us briefly. Yeah, I even asked him a question related to that Olympic game where he sits on the ground, an image that went around the world, and he, talking to his mom and dad, he said, "Mom, Dad, I'm an Olympic champion." I asked, "Matheus, have you already had that call with your parents?" He said, "I did, but I haven't won anything yet." I said, "But it's the first step. 2 goals in the World Cup is something important." He said, "Of course, the first step is very important. I hope that from now on, everything will be like this and even more for the national team." I'll just give you a bit more context. You must be seeing a light blinking here on my left side, which is the arena where the Philadelphia 76ers play. The basketball team here in Philadelphia to the right, here from Dobro, there's the stadium of the baseball team, Philadelphia Phillies. And back here where the national team just won 3-0 against Haiti is the stadium of the Philadelphia Eagles, the American football team, so it's a complex, really cool. Around here, the 3 teams from the main American sports all play in the same area, right?
Something that happens exactly the same way in Cleveland. There's the Cavaliers arena, there's the Browns.
Browns.
No, actually the Browns is the stadium where the national team played, but there's also the baseball one. The baseball one,
the American football team and the basketball team. Important, according to the national team's schedule, the players who played less time today will have a light training session. Yes, at the New York Red Bulls training center at Columbia Park, Neymar will have a very intense workout, as Antelote revealed in the press conference with Zan.
a separate activity. He didn't come here precisely so he could spend this period retraining. The players are also working out in the gym, and in the afternoon things will heat up.
Exactly, coming back. They report back at the end of Saturday, and on Sunday they'll have regular training. Rodrigo Caetano told us that as well. So that's the team's schedule. We'll return to New Jersey tomorrow. We'll bring more news, everything that's happening with the team. We'll be back tomorrow with more updates on the Brazilian team.
Just to wrap up, one last note, Brazil and Haiti. It was a really great game to watch. The Haitian fans put on a beautiful celebration, singing and jumping from start to finish. Yeah, Brazil has a nice history with Haiti. Brazil's peacekeeping force was there when Haiti suffered from earthquakes.
Back in 2004, there was that peace match where Ronaldinho Gaúcho, Roger Flores, Nilmar, and a bunch of other players played in that game. The Brazilian players went from the airport to the stadium in armored vehicles. From the Brazilian Navy, we heard from the commander of the Brazilian Navy who was on that peace mission in 2010. Really cool. He told the story that the military helped a lot with soccer. They gave soccer lessons to the kids. So it was really nice. It was really moving to watch this game here too. And he even mentioned the affection and how the players on this team might even see Brazilians as fans, right? So the game here was really nice. It was cool to see everyone coming together. Before the game, we also saw Brazilians and Haitians talking, dancing, playing around. So it was really great to be here at this game and be part of this story.
Once again, the stadium was packed to see Brazil. Brazil has been drawing crowds. The stadium was full. The match life was packed here. The Lincoln Financial Field, the stadium in Philadelphia, Brazil, tickets were very expensive, but the Brazilian motorcyclist here is willing to watch. The national team, which didn't play well in their debut, played a better match today. Antelote said at the press conference they need to improve and will be better for the Scotland match. Brazil is gaining momentum, and maybe now, with Neymar's return, the situation will improve and Brazil might continue on its path toward a sixth title. We'll be back at any moment. In fact, we come back every day.
That's true.
And now we'll meet over there in Morristown. You know, the World Cup is happening right here. And